saw I went to another, oh god, I apologize for the lawnmower. I visited a new workout studio today during my lunchtime workout of the day. The instructor today was really great. Her cueing was really good. I love an instructor who cues you throughout the entire workout, like constantly reminding you to feel for certain things in your body. It is time to get back to work. Hi, I have a YouTube channel recommendation for you if you like to listen to background music while you're working or studying. It's my latest favorite, and the channel is called Warm Blanket, and they basically just come out with seasonal playlists that they create, and they're really lovely. And my favorite part is honestly just the cover art that they add to all of their playlists, but it's just so calming and cozy. Like, for example, this one is called A Cup of Machine Brewed Coffee with a Croissant for Tuesday Morning. Like, how cozy is that? Okay, for lunch I made kimchi spam fried rice, which I've been craving for days now. And I didn't get a video of it because I just finished eating. But here it is in the pan. I'll probably have it again for lunch tomorrow. It was super easy, pretty fast, and I made enough for 2 meals worth, so that's pretty cool. Here's a picture of it.
Good morning, Miss Mabel.
I don't know what it is today, but I am just feeling quite off. Honestly, it could be because it's just so gloomy outside today for the first time in a while, which I feel grateful for, of course, that it's usually so sunny here. I've been working all day. I'm just really looking forward to my Pilates class later after work because I just need something to get myself out of my head and to ground me. I am getting dinner with a friend who is also on YouTube and Bookstagram, Brianna. I think her accounts everywhere are Brie Beatrice. Yeah, they'll be really exciting. I actually haven't met up with her at all since moving here because I think both of us have just been so busy. Twice in 1 week now, I've been to 2 separate fitness studios located within art galleries. Is this a common occurrence in Houston? I don't even really know. It is really cool though. Today I went to a studio that does contemporary and classic Pilates called Synced, SYNCD. I think it just opened, so it's really new. It's a very small studio, but it's very clean, very nice. They use Bala Pilates mats, you know, fitness balls and like the little circle ring thing, things like that. The instructor I had today was clearly super knowledgeable, very good at correcting form, which I value a lot. The one downside I think was that the studio didn't have any mirrors, which I prefer being able to see myself so I can adjust my form and anything if necessary. Long time no talk. It's been a hot minute now since we last sat down face to face, one-on-one, chit-chatted. So let's do that now. So this past week, just to give you some context, Wednesday I got lunch with a coworker. That's where you saw the dancer in the sphere. That same day I had a holiday department social / white elephant gift exchange, and I think I took the cake for possibly the worst gift ever. Don't be like me. Don't bring a puzzle. I would not recommend it unless you know that the people who are going to be there are puzzle fans. I actually brought a puzzle that was Houston Texans themed, so I thought it would be a big hit, but apparently I miscalculated because no one in my department likes the Houston Texans. If you are going to a white elephant gift exchange sometime soon, I have some suggestions for you because now I am wiser. I have learned from my mistakes and I have seen with my own eyes what actually does well at one of these things. Number one, the top entry, the top gift item that everyone was fighting over was, of course, you guessed it, alcohol. Someone actually brought a gift bag with a bottle of wine, a baguette, and like a wheel of brie, which I thought was really clever. Another one that I think was kind of, if not popular, it was oohed and awed at, was a s'mores machine, like a s'mores maker. It was like a little mini fire pit thing, I guess. And the one that I really wanted to get, but unfortunately wasn't able to steal, was a pickleball set. Yeah, that one was a good idea. Really good idea. So I would recommend that, especially since pickleball seems to be quite popular these days. So you'd be a huge hit at your party if you brought a pickleball set as a white elephant gift to give away. I had a really great time, of course, at the social. My department is quite the talkative bunch, which I think is kind of par for the course within the legal field. I think our team just meshes really well together too. It's just all of our personalities complement each other well. But I know why you're here. You just want to hear about the books. So let's talk about the books. On audiobook this week, I've been listening to Black Shirts and Reds, Rational Fascism and the Overthrow of Communism, I believe is the subtitle, by Michael Parenti. This is a book that is nonfiction. It's basically an introductory overview looking at the history of fascism, capitalism, communism, and it talks specifically about the way that fascism is almost I want to say extension or a possible outgrowth from capitalism when it's pushed to its limits. And Parenti looks at the different ways that this has proven true in the past in history. So how a lot of capitalist regimes have backed different fascist dictators, and how over time this has eroded different communist regimes. I think it's a really good introductory book. I think I want to say I agree with the author on the majority of what he's talking about. Obviously, no one's politics are going to fully align with each other's. That's a near impossible ask. I'm about halfway through the book. I will have hopefully some more consolidated thoughts later on, though. I'm so excited to talk about this book. This next book I read on ebook on my Kindle, and that is All Yours by Claudia Pinedo, who is perhaps a new favorite author, it's looking like. So I read this one as a buddy read with my friend Shan. I'll tag her Instagram below. She is such a good friend to read with because we've already done like so many buddy reads together, and this one went by far the best. We both agreed that this was incredible. I read this one in one sitting and she read it in like 2 sittings essentially, and so we both like blasted through it and we're like live texting each other about it. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself, but All Yours, I can't I'm trying to go back to the cover, but let's just imagine, okay? Let's imagine it's here. First of all, Claudia Pinedo, she is an Argentinian crime thriller writer master. I feel like I don't even want to tell you anything about this book because telling you already kind of spoils it. Feel free to skip ahead, but if you do want to know the premise, the narrator finds out that her husband is cheating on her, and she finds out because she sees like a letter or something signed by True Love, and it has like lipstick prints on it, and she knows, of course, I didn't write that, so who did, right? And so one day she intercepts a phone call between her husband and his mistress, and she follows them to this meeting spot. But then she witnesses her husband killing this woman. And this just kind of unleashes a barrage of events that happen because our narrator is delusional. Like, she's in denial, basically. And so she helps him try to cover his tracks. And so much more happens. It is such a layered book. There are chapters where it goes into different like documents that were found in the narrator's trunk, for example. There are chapters where it's just purely dialogue between the narrator's daughter and some other person. So there's a lot going on in this very short book, and I think it's a duology. So Shan and I are going to be reading the second book, which is Time of the Flies, next month, and I am dying to read it. This is just such a well-written novel. This is what I want out of a thriller. For physical books, I am in the middle of The Iliac Crest by Cristina Rivera Garza, translated by Sarah Booker. I'm about halfway through. This book has been incredible, and I have been trying to read it kind of slowly for that reason. I've been annotating and just writing in the margins a lot in this one. This is such a thoughtful book. I don't know how else to put it. It's one of those books that's so intensely, richly researched, and I don't even know if it's researched so much as there is layer upon layer of meaning in this, because we're following this narrator who, on a random dark stormy night, this person comes to their door, and so our narrator opens the door and finds this woman just like drenched in the rain, and she introduces herself as Amparo Davila, who is a really famous Mexican author. And so the narrator, for whatever reason, decides, yes, let me let this random stranger who claims to be a famous Mexican author into my house. And then I believe it was the same night, and if not, quickly soon after that, the narrator's ex-girlfriend shows up as well, and she falls really ill. And then the girlfriend and the supposed alleged Amparo Davila character become BFFs, and they create this language between them that the narrator doesn't understand. And these two basically camp out in the narrator's house. These two women, Amparo Davila and the ex, both tell the narrator that they are in fact actually a woman. So the narrator, believing he's a man, is kind of surprised, perplexed. These other two characters, the ex and Amparo, are both like, no, you don't understand, you are a woman. This kind of sends the narrator spiraling. They keep checking in the mirror for like their parts, their body parts. Very quickly, they don't know what to believe either. Celia Crest is very interested in the question of gender and very interested in the question of linguistics and language. What does it mean when two people share a language? Or like, what does it mean when someone tells you that you are a woman or a man? Another big theme throughout this book is also the idea of borders and permeability with borders and all types of borders, right? Like the border between man and woman, the border between different languages, and physical borders as well, because there is talk of migrants and things like that, and the border too between life and death. I think I could talk about this book forever, but I'm like literally only halfway through, so I'm really excited to kind of see where this goes, because there is a lot of like spookiness in it as well. So yeah, I'm not very cozy. Sorry, the title's probably quite deceiving at this point.